Welcome to Jewish Boy Calls His Mother. I'm your host, Sadia, and this is my mother, Ima. Hey, Ima.
Hello, 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 sweetheart. Here in Florida, would you believe last night it went down to 45 degrees?
Oh, wow. You must have been so cold and freezing. Oh, just the worst.
Actually, no, the house is comfortable. I have not turned on the heat
Hmm.
because it's been like 71, 74 degrees in the house. So I've not had to turn on the heat. But I wear my fall jacket and a sweater.
Okay.
And so it's okay. But a lot of Floridians are a little surprised. They said that this is rather unusual
Yeah.
for
It's almost as
Florida
if
to
like the
have.
nature is trying to tell you something. Um, so
What do you think you're trying to tell us?
I don't know. Maybe something. I haven't figured it out yet. I'll get back to you on that one. I'll get back to you on that one.
What's the temperature in Baltimore today?
Well, when I got left the house at 6:30 in the morning, it was about 29 degrees. Um, But by the time I finished chakras and got to work, it was like maybe 31, 32. So yeah. It was fine. I
40,
had my
44.
sweatshirt on.
Mm,
It was good. I like
yeah.
the crispness. Um, so
I used
this,
to, I used to, ha- I used to have, I used to wear long thermos
oh yeah. No, I used to be
on
really
purpose.
sensitive. When I was a kid, I was very sensitive to the cold. I used to just constantly bundle myself up and we were like double, triple layers and all that stuff. I used to wear like six sweatpants. On top of that was
Mhm.
like my regular pants and jeans just to
That's
stay
what I
warm.
did. Yep. hmm
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it
I
was because
remember those days.
yeah, I think it was because my chicken legs, they were all so tiny. Yeah. Now they're more Zoftic. Um, which brings me to our our topic this week of dieting. Because like my doctor told me to go on a no carb diet, which like we were discussing before, and like it just doesn't
Yeah,
like
they don't work.
I'll do what I gotta do, but it's just like on all these no carb diets, you never feel full. You never feel full. And
It's been proved. They've been proven. These low carb diets have been proven to be totally ineffective. It's been proven already.
I think you just
That
want to see me lose weight. That was all.
they just don't work. And what the best diets are the ones that not a real, like my nurse midwife once told me. She goes, diets don't work.
Hmm.
That what works is adopting a lifestyle of eating that basically becomes part of your lifestyle. Like, um, okay, we all know, pastries, ice cream, forget it. If you want, you better not, binge out on those. Don't you binge out on those things, you're going to gain weight. Um, but to eat a healthy, like they say, the four square meals, the vegetables, the fruits, a little carb, like a slice of bread with your meal. There's nothing wrong with a slice of bread. Um, and just to um, basically just not to binge, just to eat a moderate amount.
Well, it's just like it's easier said than done, but I understand. I need to hit the ground running and really, you know, take care of myself. Um, I do the basics. I hit the gym.
Mhm.
I just the problem is I just don't do well on a diet, and I need to start working on it. I used to be more disciplined though. I used to be
Mhm.
more on top of everything. Like when I was in my early 20s, um,
Mhm.
I just knew how to hold myself back and resist a lot of temptation. I think like in my mid 20s, it kind of started going away
Mhm.
where I was like, I I I don't know. I had this feeling that like I deserved a break. I think that's what really got to me where I was like, once you start feeling like you deserve a break, you deserve a timeout, you deserve like sorry, you deserve this feeling of like entitlement to pleasures that aren't really necessary. Um, you know, and that's kind of what's been going on is that like you get this entitlement of, well, I know what I deserve. I know what I should have, and it's just it's that's really what dieting comes down to is resisting that, urge to give into just your pleasure, your wants and your needs. And it's just, that's why it's very frustrating, and I have to accept it for what it is, and I just have to get better at being more disciplined. Did you ever notice when you were younger, like you were more disciplined, and then the older you got, the more tired you were and the less you cared?
Good question. Well, I remember as a teenager, what I would do was, if I was going to go out that night, I knew that when I went out on a date or went out with friends, I knew when it came to going to a restaurant, or to going out to a restaurant, whatever, I knew I was going to stuff myself. I just knew it because I like eating. So what I would do was, during the day, I would just drink. I wouldn't eat anything during the day. Maybe have some coffee, maybe have some drinks. I wouldn't eat anything during the day. And so when I went out with my friends, I didn't feel guilty about eating whatever I wanted, because that day I had not eaten anything. And then I remembered, usually like Saturday night was the big night of going out. Sometimes I'd go out with friends to like 2 or 3 restaurants and just, get this and get that, and just spend a whole night eating practically. And then so Sunday, I would fast all day. So I wouldn't eat a thing Sunday. I would just drink. Again, I wouldn't eat anything on Sunday. I would just drink.
So when did that, I guess, stop? When did you stop doing that to yourself, of like that discipline and control?
Okay. Well, what happened, the problem, for most women, the problems start
Pregnancy.
with their childbearing years, because the body has, it depends. Like some women tell me that with nursing that they actually lost weight.
Yeah,
That
so I've heard.
was not the case with me. And especially as your kids are getting a little older, they get to be toddlers, they want cookies, and you start to bake. You start to bake, like all these pastries for the family, especially Shabbos. Shabbos, Friday afternoon, you're baking all these pastries for your family. And as you're baking these pastries, you're tasting them.
Yeah.
And that kind of blew it.
I guess I can see that, because I know, looking at like pictures of you when you were younger, but still, with kids, you were pretty thin. And then when it got to me, it was just like hell in a handbasket. Like it just went down.
I think my body changed, and I wasn't losing it as fast. And well, I remember I came to a point where I went to the gym every day, and I
Really?
cut back on a lot of nosh. And after 4 months of this, I thought, oh, I must have lost something. Not an ounce.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I also have a little cat over here. I I guess in a way, I mean, to really think about it, like I do want to lose weight. I'm not trying not to lose weight.
Right.
But I think what it is that there's definitely this a lot. I think, again, it's an emotional thing. It's just like I'm trying to be more disciplined, trying to do all this stuff, but I think instead of trying, I should be doing. And I'm just, I don't know, like I get, maybe I get into these nodes of like it doesn't matter, or like it does matter, but it's just like it should be okay.
Okay.
Like I'm like just
I,
legitimizing to
yeah,
myself.
yeah, I know what you mean, because I've had times where I said, oh, it's just a little piece of cake, just a little. I tried a little piece, and a little piece, and a little piece, and a little piece, and then I realized, you idiot, you're not going to lose weight eating cake or ice cream or stuff like that. I think if you just, I think the only thing can be, I think the best thing for a person to do is basically just cut out the junk food, do a moderate, amount of exercise, and like I said, just use a little seichel, in your in your eating. You want a protein, you want a little bit of carbs, like maybe a small biscuit, a slice of bread. There's nothing wrong with that. And a fruit, a vegetable, that type of thing. Um, I made a net, not quite a netter, but a few years ago, I decided that with everything I ate, I would eat either fruit or vegetable with it.
Mm.
And in fact, I find like if I'm out or I'm at someone's house and um, there's no fruits or vegetables available, like it's surprising me because when I was growing up, everything we ate, we always had fruits and vegetables with everything we ate.
Yeah.
The salad was, part of the meal and part of dinner. That was it. So it surprised me sometimes when I'm visiting people that they'll serve they'll serve food with not a single vegetable or a single fruit. And I find when I'm in those situations, after I finish eating, I feel like the food is stuck. Like
Mm.
I'm not properly digesting it. Somehow I need that fruit or that vegetable to really feel like I'm digesting that particular food.
I mean,
Mhm.
it's
But I
just
don't know. I was talking to this nurse who works at my doctor's office because I got on last I visited the doctor. I got on the scale and I went, "Oh my god!" And I said to her, I told her, I said, "I don't eat that much. I really don't." And I'm pretty active. So she said that she managed to lose weight by picking a couple days out of the week where she doesn't eat solid food. She just does liquids, just juices, especially
oh, she-
she just juice. She just drinks juices the whole day, carrot juice, thing, vegetable juice, things like that, and doesn't eat any like regular food. But she only does that maybe for 1 or 2 days out of the week, and she's felt that somehow that could kickstart her metabolism.
see, the thing is that I don't mind doing those things, but what happens is that I just get very irritable, and
Mhm.
that's what I don't like.
No, you're right.
And
Mhm.
that's, I mean, that's, I guess that's just the challenge of going back and forth and trying to just, you know, do what you can. I mean, it boils down to just eating less and being more careful with what you eat, and don't be such a
Mhm.
chazer. That's all there is to it. It's not rocket science, you know?
But did we was this, I forgot if this was part of our conversation before the podcast. I think when I was telling you about the CDs that your brother took out when he was in
Oh,
high school.
you didn't talk about that. No, you didn't.
Okay, so when uh when your younger brother was in high school, he became very interested in diet and nutrition and healthy eating and things like that. So he took out a
Yeah.
series of CDs that was produced by this woman. She's actually she's a psychologist. She's not a psychiatrist, but she's a psychologist, and she organized a whole medical team, coordinated an entire medical team, and opened up this clinic in San Francisco. The purpose of the clinic is just to treat people with anxiety and depression. She says now, not clinical depression, not bipolar, not schizophrenia. The people that come to their clinics have to have a normal mental history, but walk around with a constant feeling of nervousness, anxiety. And she said she found that, excuse me, oh,
You okay?
yeah, I think it's a change of weather. I get these
Coughing
coughing.
fits.
That's, yeah, but it's actually asthmatic.
Mm.
But I but she said when she first opened up the clinic, they tried everything with these people, all sorts of psychological therapies, and the people said that at first these therapies worked, but then 3 weeks later they stopped working. So she decided to look into what they were eating, about diet and nutrition, things like this. And she found that many of them had totally cut out carbs and fats out of their
Mm.
diet. And so her medical team decided to do some research on the effects of carbs and fats on, mental health. And
Mhm.
they discovered that not a lot, but a certain amount, a small amount of daily fats and carbs are actually necessary to keep an emotional equilibrium. That
It's
yeah. And so anyway, so her recommendation was that, like, people were, when you eat chicken, for example, they were saying for years, take the skin off the chicken, take the skin. She goes, no, eat the chicken with the skin. It's okay. Just don't overdo it, but increase your exercise. That's the thing. Increase your physical activity, but eat the carbs, eat the fats, but in moderation.
hmm,
And she said she found for her patients that that's what worked.
interesting because that's why, like, I was even speaking to my doctor, and I'm realizing how old school he is. He was saying, like, the the main point of losing weight is diet. Exercise has very little to do with it. Um,
That is old school. They've discovered you need a combination. It's a combination of both.
yeah, I guess I
But
just
but 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 in moderation. It's important to have a certain amount of exercise. I
yeah.
remember when I was in high school, our phys ed teacher telling us that she said exercise doesn't help you to lose weight. That was the stupidest thing you could have said to a bunch of teenage girls.
I mean, talking about losing weight is the stupidest thing you could say to any teenage girls. I mean, it's just like
No,
you
I'm
know,
talking about telling teenage girls that exercise doesn't help you to lose weight.
yeah, it's cigarettes and cocaine.
Would you believe? I can't believe this guy did this. A friend of mine, poor man, was tremendously overweight. So what does he decide to do? He decides to take up smoking
To
so that
lose
he can
weight.
lose weight.
My
He
gosh.
just exchanged one health problem for the other.
What's funny? A similar story, not I wouldn't say exact, but a similar story happened to a guy I knew in yeshiva. He took up smoking because he didn't want to criticize someone who was smoking without actually trying to be addicted to cigarettes, and then learning learning like what to do.
How to quit.
Yeah, learning how to quit. And it's just like that's like the dumbest thing possible. But that sure enough, that's what, you know,
I think that's called ass backward reasoning.
yeah, I think you're right. Um but like it's so funny because, like, I remember certain people having just the dumbest perspectives of things. Just so silly, so stupid, which, like, made me question, like, just their own sanity. Um,
You want to hear talk about stupid? Okay, no, we don't want to get political, but I was watching this journalist was interview. There was a journalist and a female Arab journalist who Israel recently withdrew her visa. They will not let her in the country because she is so virulently anti-Semitic. So this I don't know if she was British or Australian, rather famous female, very pro-Israel journalist. So she brought up to this Palestinian journalist, um, and she says, "Well, what's Israel supposed to do?" I mean, she said that the reason so many people in Gaza are dying is because it's been proven that Hamas has been firing their rockets and storing their ammunitions in schools and hospitals and all these populated areas. So the stupid Palestinian journalist says to her, well, where else were they supposed to fire their rockets? There's so little space in Gaza.
it's again, and
So
and
the British journalist or the other journalist says to her, how about not firing them at all?
yep. Well, it's funny because, like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills from trying to have these conversations with these people where it's like they want to legitimize and say that it's okay, for Hamas to rape and murder people. And then when Israel, of course, defends itself, which is the dumbest fucking statement ever, defending itself, like it's just whatever. It could have all been prevented if they didn't listen, to the government, all the external factors, and not focus on Gush Katif. But that's a different story.
Water
But
under
yeah,
the bridge. We got
yeah,
to deal with the situation as it is now. Can't look back.
yeah,
It was pretty stupid. Everyone knew it, but well,
but not the right
it's
people
gone. What are you
do
gonna do?
it. Whatever.
Well, my sister, the psychologist, has a really good philosophy on life. Whenever people look back on things,
Yeah,
she says, it is what it is. Deal with what it is now.
yep, yep. I have this one guy in shul who says this obnoxious comment that I don't care for, but he has he has a point, but it's just annoying. Says whenever you invest in the stock market and you take out money from the stock market and you get the gains and whatnot, this is what he says. He says that there's a small little note, little asterisk, when it comes to the gain, like the gains and the valuability of the stock. It says previous winnings do not necessarily correlate to future gains or something like that. And he's like, that's how life is. Just because it
Yeah.
worked out one way or did something one way doesn't mean, that it's it's that frustrating thing of like, hey, it's just the past. You're gonna have to like get over it and work and work your way through it. And like you're just so frustrated because you want some kind of justice, but like I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I like what Rabbi Gordon says about davening and the stock market. He says most people, when they're davening, think about the stock market, and then when they're playing the stock market, they're davening.
Yeah, it's cute. That's cute.
What's the joke about what the joke about the rabbi and the taxi cab driver that go to heaven? It died. You hear that
No.
joke? Okay, rabbi. And taxi
Oh yeah,
cab
when you were
driver.
driving, they were really praying.
Okay, there. Very
Yeah,
good. That's
yeah. Sorry.
Yep.
It happens a lot where like I'm talking to people or they send me like these videos online, these little clips, and it's like you got to be fast because like I saw that already or I noticed already. Like sorry buddy, you win, you snooze, you lose. Yeah, it's just it's like life in general. You're just, it's a challenge of trying to stay.
Quite honestly, as far as like diet is concerned, I've come to the point where, in a way, not that I've given up. I mean, I'm not about to go out and binge on ice cream or cakes or anything like that. But I've just come to the point where, I'm eating healthy things. There's only one. My only pig out night is Friday night. Obviously.
Yeah.
When I go to your sister's house, like I said, she's got young kids, so she's got all those nice pastries. But other than that one night, and I've just I try to be active. I've come to the point where, look, I can't get upset over it anymore. I can't. I'm at the point. Come on, I'm doing all I can. I'm not about to starve myself. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's like I'm not. I don't want to starve myself, but I want to create healthier eating habits. I think that's really where I'm trying to get at, where it's like I can hopefully go ahead and just just be there and be available, and also like for my kids, like I think that's really what's going on. I think it's just all this whole concept of trying to be able to be there.
Well,
I saw this, be a good example.
This girl in my dormitory, I saw her like, when she first moved in. A few months later, like gradually get, she came in when she first came to the dorm. She was not really grossly overweight, but she could stand to lose about 20 pounds, whatever. And as the months went on, she did get pretty much in shape. That she would come in, and when she would come home from work,
Mhm.
um, she would she would grab vegetables or fruits. In fact, she would grab maybe like one of those boxes of like frozen spinach or frozen vegetables, throw it in the microwave, and then and then put a little salt and pepper on it and just eat it right away.
Yeah.
Like that was the first thing she would grab, rather than grabbing a cookie or candy or or something fattening. And it wasn't like she was like quote unquote dieting. She just made sure that when she was hungry that she would grab a fruit or a vegetable.
And that's where I'm at, where it's like I want to just start creating healthy habits because this because if not, it sounds like it seems like a beast I'm just trying to control instead of just living my life. Because there were moments in my life where like I wasn't paying attention, but I realized I was dropping weight, you know?
Hmm.
And that happened when I was just living in the moment, focusing on myself and just having healthy habits. And that's kind of where like I'm at, where it's like I want to know what was it about those times, because I was thinking like 5 6 years ago, I was in good shape and like just watching what I was eating, but like not making it a whole tumult, not really focusing on it like as if my life depended on it.
Yeah.
And that's really what I'm trying to go for, where it's just like I want to create healthy habits. So it's just like
Mhm.
whatever, I'll go on this whole thing and do what needs to get done. I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. I just want to make sure that I'm healthy enough that like I get to spend time, God willing, with my child and create a healthy habit and be a healthy example, you know, because I would like my kid to be healthy and be in shape. You know what I mean? I think one of the reasons why we're all like health conscious is because of you, because we had like you were always eating healthy and you were always having a vegetable, and it was this whole thing of like your stories were sticky and licky that helped fat shame us into not wanting to go ahead and lose weight. And I mean, be in good shape. So that was always good. Um, and that was something that like I just felt it set a decent, healthy example. Maybe it might have scarred the sisters, but they're fine. They can figure stuff out, you know?
There's also something else to be said too about like people doing everything they can to have a healthy lifestyle and still being overweight. I think there's a lot. I don't know. I think there's a lot that's going on that doctors also don't even know about, or research doesn't know about, because I see that, and I see that like in a lot of families where just like a family will have a tendency, and doctors will agree that there are genetic tendencies for for being either on either on the fatter side or the thinner side.
Hmm.
And it seems to be something, actually seems to be something like more genetic. Oh, there was this one geneticist, a doctor.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how many years ago, I think 10 years ago or so, he claimed that in the DNA that he had discovered an actual fat gene among some of his
Ah,
patients.
I
That
don't
a
believe.
gene that these people actually, you know, unfortunately, have a tendency to be fat. It's like in their genetic makeup.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if and I think this is a quote from um Ricky Gervais in one of his comedy specials, but I don't remember seeing a fat guy in Auschwitz. So it's just like I don't think that it's just no, it just you might have better capabilities,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I think there's always room and a way to be healthy. Um
I mean, if you want to be thin, if you want to totally starve yourself and exercise like crazy, yeah, you'll probably be pretty thin, but what's what's your quality of life going to be like?
Well, I just want a quality of life where I can,
Mhm.
look good in a suit again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's
Yeah.
just like I look at this stuff, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just not very satisfied with it. I want to.
Well, the funny thing is tonight, um, I saw this advertisement, one of these presentations that you click on to,
Hmm.
and it was about 4 fish that you should avoid, that you should definitely not eat, and which fish is very, very healthy for you. So click on the video, and the guys talk. This doctor is talking and talking, and so many people don't know about these fish, and it's going to surprise you when I get to them. But first, let me tell you about myself. Let me tell you about some of my patients and some of the things that they have said, and da 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 da, da and on and on. As I'm going, okay, what are the 4 damn fish already? Finally, halfway through the video, he says the 4 fish. This is never tilapia. Well, tilapia bottom eaters, so that's really not healthy. No, no not tilapia, not mackerel, not tuna. He says unless it's American, unless it's American yellow tuna. He says that's okay because that is pretty much farmed in very fresh, clean waters. Um, and what else did he say? The mackerel, tilapia mackerel. He said, oh, bass, sea bass. Sea bass is also not a very healthy fish. So then he's bragging about, and this one, wait till I tell you the name of this fish. No, it's not salmon. But then again, let me tell you about some more of my clinic. Let me tell you some more of my this and some more of my this. And wait till you hear about this fish. Oh, but another thing I want to mention. And finally I said, I just clicked off the video. I got fed up.
Yeah, they do that on
And
purpose,
and
right?
and the thing about it is usually you can press the video, and then you can take your finger along the bottom and like skip so that you can go forward, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, just by moving that button, by moving the little blue line with the button.
yeah,
Oh, this video wouldn't let you do that.
yeah. A lot of these are scams. Like when they do that, they're just like there's videos on Facebook where like they're there to like engage content, but there really isn't anything that's there. Like it's just
Mhm.
it's a nothing. It could be like a guy, looking at like a bunch of sprinkles and he starts pouring the sprinkles over this cake and then he pours another kind of sprinkles and it's like it's a 7-8 minute video that you can't click through. It's just ridiculous. I hope, whatever. I just can't stand it. Um, but yeah, it's just whatever. It's again, that's where like I'm surprised people get engaged with that stuff because even when you're looking at headlines nowadays, it's like the headline is just enough to get you to click on that link. I'm like, I'm not going to click on the link. And what I do sometimes is I look at the comments. The comments, some people go ahead and like say what happened in the comments, so I don't have to click on the link. Therefore, that saves me some time. You know?
That sounds like a good idea. You remember that time you and I were watching um this video about some sort of it was some sort of financial thing, was it?
Yeah. It
And
was
we got it looked very interesting, it looked very informative until we got almost to the end. And now we can tell you, you just buy this book and we will tell you.
yeah, I remember going through that. That's actually kind of funny. Yeah, it was a whole thing, and you're like, oh, I wonder what it talks about. You're like, oh, it's a book, and it talks about this buying the book, and then from the book to buy it, and if you do it, it'll be just goes on and on and on, just this whole random like stuff. It's just ridiculous. Um, but yeah, yeah,
Yeah, now we see where this is going. By the way, I asked somebody about there's this um there's this like real estate thing going on where you can buy this oh, I don't know if it's software or something. If it's you, it helps them. It helps to prevent you from being a victim of real estate theft.
what does it
And they said
mean,
that
real estate theft?
okay, what it is according to their advertisement, pe- um, people can hack into your system. They can
Mm-hmm.
get your identity, And using your social security number and using your identity, they can actually hack into the public records where you have your properties listed, and they can hack into your property and basically take it over online and use it and sell it online without you even knowing it. So
No, Ema.
I asked some people who are
Yeah,
in the real estate business about
yeah,
this, and they laughed about it. They said they said that in itself is a scam. They
yeah,
said, believe me, there's plenty of safeguards that the people in real estate use to make sure things like that don't happen.
yeah,
You don't need to buy this quote unquote insurance.
yeah. It's just, it kind of reminds me of like with Bubby when she kind of like got scammed a couple of times. Trying to remember like some good stories. I mean, it's just, you just got to be careful and not be so naive.
Well, there
Um,
was a time. One time. Um, I was going. This is when you could renew your license online. You can't do that anymore. But your brother was in Israel. His driver's license was about to expire, and he wanted me to renew it for him online. I get online, and this icon pops up. Yeah, I get on the government website.
mhm.
It's supposed to be a secure government website, right?
Yeah.
Real estate job, and motor vehicle department, and a thing pops up saying, if you want to renew your license online, click this. So I clicked it, and it says renew your license easily. Go to this click, and I clicked that too. And what it was, and it said it said renew your license, and it was like $1.99. I go, what? $1.99 to renew your license? That's ridiculous. Wait a minute, it's much more than that. And then I realized it was a scam, and so I clicked it, and they wanted the credit card information, and then I realized it was a scam.
Mm.
So I was able to I contacted the scamming people and
Mhm.
told them I don't want to buy this. Please delete my information. Okay. Then when right around that time, your younger brother had to go to MVA to take his driver's test. So while I was there, I went over to one of the people there, and I told them about this icon, about these people that had hacked into the government system and were scamming people with this. It was actually it was supposed to be a pamphlet telling you how you can renew your license for $1.99
Mhm.
after they got your credit card information. So the lady said, wait right here, I want to get some people. And shortly afterwards, she brought me the supervisor herself of the whole MDA there, and a computer person and a detective.
Oh wow.
And so the computer person sat down, and he went onto the MVA website, and I recognized the icon, and I said, there it is, that's it. And he clicked it, and the supervisor said to the detective, that is not part of our website.
Oh wow.
So they thanked me, and the detective said, okay, we're going to go after him.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah,
But
that's
the problem is a lot of people like sit back and go, oh well, so what? Things like this always happen. No, you should take action when stuff like this happens.
well, it happened to me with my student loans.